last couple of weeks, I wrote over 20 Tearout drops for the new Rave 2024 update. To make drops like this, you really only need two things.
Two things? What?
Heavy drums and heavy bass lines. There are two main types of Tearout beats, the classic dubstep and the trap variation. But remember, you can do whatever you want. It's extremely important that you use the right drum samples for the context of your drop. Just like a chord and how certain notes complement each other, every sound in your drop has to complement each other as well, not just in tonality, but in textures. There are formulas that everybody knows that work, but I encourage you to experiment, like a chef trying a new ingredient on a traditional dish. So come up with your own unique drums. To make a classic dubstep beat,
place a kick on the first beat, skip a beat, place a snare, skip another beat, and repeat. Finally, lay a crash on every beat. You can replace. Now to make a heavy trap beat, place a kick on the first, skip a beat, place your snare, place a kick on the next beat, and then we're gonna skip 2 beats and place our snare again. And with the crash on every beat, you should get this.
you can try other kick patterns for different rhythmic results.
We can put a kick here, we can put a kick here. Let's see what else we can do. We can put a kick right before a snare, 1 kick there. Let's see what that sounds like. So you can get these drum samples
and more for free at Threat Collective. So, machine gun basses. What makes Tearout Tearout? You can literally make a Tearout machine gun bass out of anything. Like, I could just flip this table, record the sound, and make a bass out of it. Plus, there's like 1.5 million tutorials on YouTube of people doing this. If you want to see a video of me making over 100 Tearout machine gun shots, you can go to my Patreon, link in the description. But essentially, you grab anything you want, you layer that with a nice sub, and distort it. What the fuck? You could even shape it with a low pass, and distort it again. And keep doing that until you have something that you like. Don't be a little. Believe in yourself, trust your taste, and don't give up. Remember to also think outside the box. Use any effects you want. There are so many programmers out there making really cool effects. If you start using plugins that no one's used before, you're gonna come up with results that no one's heard before. So think outside the box. Once you have a bunch of Tearout hits that you've designed, you can save them into your own sample folder. So whenever you feel inspired to write, you have a bunch of sounds that already match your taste. Also, don't lie to yourself. You know when something sounds fire and when something doesn't. Now I'm gonna show you the writing process to writing a machine gun bass line by using one of the many Tearout hits inside Raid.
Add a new pattern, boom, and let's call it machine gun.
You can basically hum an idea and then transfer it to MIDI. So I could be like, bum, 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 type shit, right? You can also use one of the many MIDI files inside Raid to get your idea started. Let's try that one, and then we'll put a MIDI on it, see what happens. Let's try a different one. Damn, I kind of like the one I hummed. So it'd be like, bum, 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 bum. Now remember that you can change the flows of your track by going here and choosing different grid patterns. This is 1/6. And then there's half. There is 1/3 of a beat. So this one's really nice. It's called a triplet. You can play around with the grids until you find a flow that you like. Cool. So now we're gonna get into the advanced processing. And we're gonna channel all the drums to the mixer and then channel them to a drum bus. So let's grab this kick, channel it to kick, grab the snare, channel it to snare, grab the crash, channel it to crash. And this is my latest FL Studio template available on my Patreon. Now on my drum bus, I've put a limiter with the ceiling all the way up and the saturation negative 0.1 decibels. If you want to play it even safer, you can put a soft clipper. So then I can turn up the gain. Right? And just gonna make the fucking drums insane. So that's that, so you're welcome. Okay, so that's it for the drum processing. So now channel the Tearout bass to the mixer. And here we're gonna add some effects to beef up the sound. The first effect I'm gonna add is something that I've been doing a lot, and you can actually get these presets on my Patreon as well. So at Patcher Rack I've been using a lot. I have the original signal going into a limiter, and parallel to that, I have the signal going into a distortion plugin and a multiband compression plugin. Both of those are getting sent to this limiter with the same exact settings I explained on the drum bus. But in this case, since this Tearout bass is already so distorted, I think I'm gonna skip it, but this is something I've been using a lot and I wanted to share with you guys. The next one, which can actually beef up the sound a lot, is same thing, a patcher with the original signal going out, and parallel to that, I have a saturation plug. So without it, there's different saturation settings that I can try. Now this one I forgot to add a limiter into it, so we're gonna add it after, or just a soft clipper as well works. Now let's make sure that this isn't overlapping each other by turning on this envelope on the sampler. Okay, a little bit of tail was nice, a little bit of tail was nice. Another thing you can take in consideration if you did want to distort it so that you can get a more original sound, right? You can choose different distortions here in the patcher, as well as do some subtractive EQing so that you only feed certain frequencies into those effects. Alright, cool. All of this is going to a bass bus where you can add even more effects. Let's say you have another sound that you want to add to this, right? So let's say you want to replace this first hit and this first hit with another sound. You can obviously get a sample, or you can, design your own sound in Serum if you wanted to. Let's see, maybe we can grab a Serum patch just so that we can do it for the nerds who are going to comment, oh, you're only using sample. Fuck you, nerd. Shut up. Bitch. See, I'm just gonna choose any of these. Hopefully, it'll be fire. And actually, like another thing you can do. Whoo! So that's actually going into the same effects as the other one, and I fuck with it, dude. I was gonna do it through its own. What I was gonna originally say before this thing sounded fire was that I was gonna channel this to a different channel and then put its own effects and then have that go into the bass bus. But since that sounded really fucking cool, we're gonna do that. But I've also sounded it to its own thing. We're gonna call this one Rice Bass because it's kind of like rising. And I'm also gonna put a little bit of EQing. So another thing that we wanna do now is sidechaining. Yes, we're gonna sidechain this motherfucker. I'm gonna do that with this sidechain channel that I've already have set up in my template. And let's duck it every single time the kick and snare hits. This way our drums really cut through the mix and it feels awesome. There's another bonus tip, just in case you didn't know.
you can use this thing called layer to layer different sounds. So something that I've been doing as well is layering 2 different Tearout bases on top of each other. So what I'll do is here, I'll go to layer, I'll actually select these 2, set children, then I can copy this exact MIDI, put it here, and then I can delete this MIDI, and now it will play both of the so layered. Woo, this is hot. Every single sound in this video is included inside the new raid updates available at Threat Collective, including the ones in this drop. If you want this project, sign up to my Patreon. I'll probably drop it in there sometime soon. Okay, yeah, that's it.